Welcome to selfdiscoverymedia.com, where we discover the communities that are making a difference in the lives of others. Our self-discovery is something we are all making on our life's journey. Here you will find the people that will be your guidance, that will be your inspiration, that will be there for you in support on your journey of life. Do enjoy. Our next show is... Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of For the Love of Music right here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. I am your host, Sarah Troy, and my guest today is Willie J. He is a native of East St. Louis, Washington Park, USA. As a young boy, he faced many challenges and struggles. Standing tall in the years of growing pains, he conquered many fears. He suffered losing several close family and friends throughout his journey. These events caused him to push harder and ignite his passion of writing and singing while striving to perfect other gifts. Having the will to succeed and a path of perseverance, he helped to usher him into the man he is today. After years of hard work, Willie J has given opportunities above and beyond his expectations. And some of those chains of events have been newspaper features with celebs, with Beyonce, Floyd Mayweather, Gucci Mane, Terrence Howard, and the featured magazines over time. His music is one that really does speak to our need, what we need at the present moment. We will be closing out with one of his songs called In the Morning, and it's one that is written for the pandemic, what we are all struggling through right now, how coming together in love, in support for each other, that we can get through this. He also has a lovely song on supporting Puerto Rico, and he has a new song coming out called Isabel. And if you come back to selfdiscoverymedia.com, go to the Love of Music, or just simply put in Willie J, you will see his shows and his music and everything there. But let's get right to it. Music, it's something that is extremely close to my soul. It's what nurtures me, it's what soothes me, it's what aligns me. Music is a path that you have, oops. We are
There you
having
go.
this internet problem today, folks. Clearly, everybody's on the internet at the same time, so we may have a drop or
Abs-
two now and again. But we are going
Yeah,
to persevere, aren't we, Willie? This content is too important.
that's right.
Your music's too important to get out there, so bear with us, folks, because you need to hear his story. Welcome to the show, Willie. And we have a freeze right now. This is the wonderful technology. Hopefully, nope. Okay, we're going to have one of those days, but we're going to persevere. So,
We're
Willie,
gonna persevere. That's right. It's all about resilience, right?
it is. It is. I mean, life is about hard knocks. It's about discovering our strength, our courage, our abilities. And as human beings, we sell ourselves short until we're put into a situation where we have to discover that strength and courage, discover that resilience, discover our abilities. And then we step into our awesomeness, don't we? Okay, you're
All
back.
right.
It is
I'm
definitely
back.
one of those days. Did you hear what I had to say there, love?
Please repeat that again because
Okay.
it cut you right off. Internet, all these
Okay.
users today.
So life's journey is about discovering our strength, our courage, our abilities. That is the process of life. And when we step into that strength and that courage through diversity, we discover how many abilities we have, but also how awesome we are. Because as humanity, we're inclined to sell ourselves short, aren't we? And when we are faced with those challenges and we rise up to them, we really discover that we are so much more than we've been told or led to believe.
That's right. Absolutely.
So you've had those many challenges in your life, and was it a driving force for you?
Um, I'm a firm believer of coming from you know, not just humble beginnings, but you know, I have a terminology I like to use. We term pain to gain at Pure Mission
Mm,
Entertainment, my company. And we're about thriving,
mm.
where most of the time and most people fold. I believe, pandemics or whatnot, or just opportunities, opportunities to level up, and where the greater the need, there's a greater opportunity where there's great need, and people need hope. And that's
Yeah.
really my story, by way of music,
Mm.
you know.
We do need
And
hope.
yeah, we're big on hope and that's one of our visions and mission statements at PME, and that is creating hope through arts and entertainment. You know, yeah.
But that's the
And
platform
I'm
that
grateful for the music.
yes, but that is the platform that actually does reach the masses and transcends borders. Music and entertainment, it's not just for your locals. It
That's
is,
right.
it's for everybody and it speaks to everybody. No matter what they're going through, the music hits something within them, a chord within them, and ignites them and invites them. Also lets them know that they're not alone.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you know, that's really our MO, and that's really the gist. And we just believe in when people changing lives. Now I've been learning. I don't like to say I have learned, because learning is an evolution that
Mm.
never ends, right? But I would like to say this is that I find this to be true, and I'm finding this to be true.
Have a pause again.
Yeah. The more that you empower people, I'm learning that you find yourself being empowered.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. It's not about the
that's the
power.
secret.
It's yeah, right. It's not about the power. It's about the empowerment. We all gain power when we
Yes, I
empower
love that.
each other.
Absolutely, absolutely. And that has been the MO. That's been our niche. Music have always been a part of my life. Helen from East St. Louis, and had to overcome many obstacles. I'm grateful to have parents that were musically inclined, spiritual. My mom was an organist. She passed of breast cancer in 2006, but she was
Sorry
a
to hear.
dynamic organ player. So thank you. And we're just passing a legacy on, and everything she fought hard for,
Mm,
concerning my life. Um, she would always tell me this, and that's why I believe in the power of words.
mm,
Words take form, death and life, and the power of the tongue. So she would, no matter how bad the climate got, no matter how it looked on the outside or the external, she would always instill that you always can, and you're going to be stronger as a result of that. Just remember this.
yes.
And she quoted these scriptures to me and said, "Remember, you can do all things through
Mm,
Christ who strengthens you." I got that, but when your back is against the wall, man, those
mm,
words are very powerful. And I've learned that you can speak your way out of bad situations. You can speak over yourself, and
yes.
I took that literal, and I try to pass that on to my daughter, who's
Mm.
15, by the way. She's on the "We Love You Puerto Rico" record that you heard as well.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Her name is Jasmine. Yeah, my
Following
only
following
daughter,
the
my
tradition,
beautiful.
right? Following Pap's footsteps there.
That's right, and I
Mm,
teach that. And she believes, and it's just like a child. When they're babes, they believe anything she's daddy girl. They believe everything that you're harp on. So so I like to have that childlike
mm.
faith and belief that no matter how it's looking, just always know that you're gonna you have to see yourself winning before anyone else does. I
Absolutely.
can tell you're a winner all but you have to grab a hold to that
Mm,
yourself and see that for yourself. See that you're already beautiful. See
mm.
that you need to be happy before you get that thing that you feel will make you happy once you
Right.
achieve it or once you attain it, right?
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I mean?
Oh, I
I
know
was,
what
I
you
was just
mean.
talking to a constituent. You know
But
what I'm saying, Sarah? So
absolutely,
I
I
was
know
just
what you're
talking
saying.
to,
Happiness
yeah,
is an inside job,
yeah,
right? Nothing
it
external will
is.
make you
And
happy.
being rich is from the inside out,
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely, absolutely. And you know,
Yeah,
music and the words of music and the tone of music is igniting with our own inner energy, our own tone within ourselves. And the music that we choose to listen to
yeah,
is what will energize us in moving forward. So choosing music that uplifts you, that speaks to your heart and soul. One of the problems
absolutely.
that I feel happens today is people
That's right.
close their hearts. They've had struggles, they've had pain, and
Yeah,
they shut the heart down. The soul, the spirit cannot speak
right.
to you unless it speaks through an open heart. So, however painful it is, we must open that heart in order to heal. Coming back.
That's good stuff you're saying, Sarah. That's good stuff.
We need to be open,
That's
like
awesome. Yeah.
you're saying about being backed in a corner. Well, there's always ways you can get out of it. But if you're paralyzed in the fear
Right.
or the doubt, you cannot see
Mm,
any other options. So there is always a solution.
facts.
You need to calm the fear so you can see the
Always.
solution. Mhm. And
I love
sometimes
that.
sometimes
Mm.
it is
And
that
speaking
song.
of
Mhm.
speaking of fear, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So we're having a glitch again, folks. Bear with us.
You said something about fear.
Yeah.
You were talking about fear,
Yes.
and when I think of fear, I think of breaking that word down into 4 words: false evidence appearing real.
Mhm. Mhm. Yes.
You know?
It is purely
Yeah.
we don't know what to do in the moment, so we become fearful of the lack of knowledge. So if we are still, if we are calm, if we go in, if we trust that source of energy, God, source energy, whatever anybody wants to call it, we will then know what we need to know when we need to know it.
Getting through it. No
So
fear.
no fear. Yeah, there's always that moment. Take a breath. Take a breath. Get into your own rhythm, your own harmony, and you will always find a solution out of the situation.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And that's the thing, man, about fear. It's usually fear alters truth. It alters facts. Fear can be very tricky dealing fear. Fear of taking. Yes.
Uh, a lot of people would, in this situation we're in right now, we're having bad internet today, right? So a lot of people
Yes.
would be fearful. Oh, I can't put this out. I can't do this. And it is just
Yeah.
go with the wave. Go with the wave. Trust it, right? It all comes out in
That's
the
right.
wash.
That's it. That's it. That's it. That's right. Because people want what's real anyway and
Yeah.
authentic and what's genuine,
Yeah.
and we've been taught to alter reality so much in life,
Mm,
and be afraid to
he'll be back. It's worth listening to, folks.
that mean we're doing something right. This content is very essential. That's why we're having sudden internet problems like we
Mm,
never had before, but fear, false evidence appearing real. I'm learning this, Sarah, that most of the time, and even with my own life, most of the time, there's two things that people fear sometimes, and that's failure is the number one thing.
yes.
Uh, And that's why I like teaching in the book called Failing Forward. Uh, through failing, we learn how to adapt. We grow from
It's just
mistakes.
lessons. It's just
It's
lessons.
just lessons, no
Yeah.
losses, no
No.
L's. Just you know what I mean?
Failure is giving up. Failure is being
Yeah.
crippled by it. But you
Yeah.
fall, a skater, an athlete,
Yeah.
do they give up the first time they fall down? Right?
No,
They
they
learn
don't.
to fall better.
I like that.
And
Fall
they learn to
better.
get back up quicker.
That's right. That's right. That's right. And we have a saying at PME, in my president era, we in our mastermind sessions and came up with a term called resilience is brilliance.
Mm-hmm.
The most brilliant people in life, in any field, and you know this to be true, Sarah, are those who didn't give up where most people did.
If you give up, what's the purpose of living?
Right.
You know,
Right.
we're here to strive to thrive.
Exactly. Thrive.
Exactly.
That's right.
And it takes a little striving to get to the thriving.
Oh, yes. I'll say quite a bit of striving.
We can look back on ourselves and go, oh my God, look where I am now. Look what I've done. Look what I've accomplished. Look at the effect I've had on other people.
Right. And once you conquered that fear, you never would have known what was on the other side.
No.
And that's where most people give up. It's like just 2-3 steps away or less, just press through. And they allow, they fear failure. And then sometimes you fear winning beyond your wildest dream.
Mm.
Yeah.
Especially in your industry, music.
Yeah.
Because
big time. Oh, yes.
I mean, I love interviewing the musicians that are doing this from the heart and soul. It isn't about the fame and the glory.
Absolutely not.
You are sharing your heart and soul. No.
That's right. I couldn't have lasted this long doing music. I've been doing music all my life, It's been a journny, but, my godmother used to tell me this. She's rest in heaven, Mother Hart, and she used to tell me, enjoy the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a journey. Life is a journey. And you have to learn to enjoy the aspects that are not so pretty, is what she's saying. Don't just enjoy the sunshiny moments, but just like my EP I just dropped today. So make sure everybody get that. Globally, it's out. 9 songs that you like, songs that you're going to play later.
Yes.
And she just say enjoy the journey, and I've taken that. And I've learned how to enjoy the painful moments, not enjoy like, oh yes, I'm hurt, but get frustrated. But you just know after this frustration, like when a woman births a child, you go through all types of situations when you're trying to birth something better in your life and greater. You're going to go through pressure, and I've learned to take the URE off of pressure.
Yeah.
And you have what? Back to that striving, which you're talking about, press. If you take the URE off of the word pressure, you have press. And that is the secret, really.
Press on.
Press through. Keep pressing through.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, life isn't about the destination. We all have many chapters in our book of life.
That's right. That's right.
And many songs in your many albums. And each song is like a child you've birthed, that you've nurtured, and you've given out to the world. And then another inspiration of another song, another story comes to the table. And each and every one of them are exciting. They're liberating. They're illuminating. Right? But that's what drives you. And that's what when people listen to it, they're not listening to a #1 hit on the top record.
Exactly.
They're listening to somebody's soul and heart. And it ignites our heart and our soul. It invites us in. Because you're speaking to our journey too. Like in the morning.
Absolutely.
In the morning speaks to all of us right now. Every single one of us. Doesn't matter. Color, sex, religion, whatever we are. Culture, it speaks to all of us because we are all going through the same thing. We come together in kindness, caring, and love. We will get through this together.
Together.
Yes.
Together. United we stand, divided we fall.
And there's a
house divided against itself.
And we're seeing
that's a lot of people fall. Yeah, we're seeing it.
And some people have to fall to realize they're on the ground.
No doubt.
And then it's their choice.
Absolutely.
It's their choice whether they're going to get back up again or not. We can only inspire.
Their choice.
Exactly.
That's right.
We can inspire
Total
to invite.
responsibility, taking ownership. That's
Yes.
right.
No,
That's right.
if you put your hand out and say, help me up, then fine. But if you demand, get me
Yeah,
up, then no, that's your
absolutely.
responsibility to get back up. People will
Absolutely.
always help you, but you've got to be willing to help yourself.
First and
Yep.
foremost.
Yes.
And I teach that to the clients. I'm grateful to be managing a 7-time Golden Glove boxer. Just got an NAACP where we talk on the phone all the time. He's on the Sunshine with the Rain project, the We Love You Puerto Rico, Arthur Flash Johnson. And we talked about this very thing that we're talking about right now, is that you got, and this is one thing I try to convey to my clients, is that don't wait for other people to do what you can do for yourself. I was always
Exactly.
taught, go get it. And once people see that, they're going to want to invest. That's going to come. They're going
Yeah.
to want to partner with you.
Yes.
But you have to be your number one cheerleader.
Mm-hmm.
You can't wait for the cheers. And like you say, you don't do it for the number ones. I'm going to be honest with you, Sarah. Music, God gave me music as medicine.
Yeah.
And when you share it, you're really sharing. I'm just sharing my medicine with the world,
Yeah.
because it helped me to transition from, selling drugs. I had friends and neighbors, and that were into things, and it was like, well, you want to come outside and be, acceptance is a rough thing.
Yes.
But you have to accept yourself
First. Yes.
first.
Yes.
You have to accept you first. You have to love you. I was just talking to my personal assistant this morning on a lunch call prior to this interview, and I said, you have to be the one to you have to learn how to. You can't love people properly if you don't love yourself.
Amen. Because you are going to love people and they're going to love you in the light in which you love.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right? You are setting
Exactly.
the tone. You are
Exactly.
setting the platform. So if you show love, respect, and consideration
Yeah.
for self, people will treat you in that energy. And if you're
Absolutely.
giving that loving energy back to other people,
Yeah.
then you are seeing them, you're respecting them, and you're showing them that you care.
That's right. That's right. And we really believe we believe in that. We strive on unity and love. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yeah.
And not just the dream work, it eventually leads to what we would call the cream. It makes
Yeah.
the cream work. The money comes and follows. And I tell people, don't chase the cream, don't chase the fame, chase the dream.
Yes.
Chase the why. Because the more you empower, you're gonna find yourself feeling more fulfilled,
Yeah.
And you hear about that girl who heard the music and was going to take her life.
Yeah.
And she heard a song and said, hey, Willie J, that's worth more than charts.
Oh,
hey, it's great
that's
to
the
be
true
honored.
abundance. That's the true enrichment.
That's the true abundance. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
Yes.
And we were talking about being rich from the inside out. It's more important to be wealthy from the inside out, because I ran into a lot of peers in Hollywood and different places where they seemingly had it all, but they were missing the internal ingredients, and it caused them not to be able to enjoy the fruits of their labor, because they were waiting to be happy once they achieved what they thought, if I get, and that's people most of the time. We've been indoctrinated to believe that way. Or if I achieve this, once I achieve this, I'll be happier. Once I get that first million. And the truth is, true happiness and riches and wealth comes from inside.
Yeah, they're chasing an illusion.
It's an illusion.
A society's expectation. Right?
Absolutely.
And
that's bondage. Absolutely.
If we are not true to ourselves, I mean, my journey has been a roller coaster, right? I think one of the things that's kept me going is that, okay, I can't go backwards. There's nothing there for me. So I may as well go forward. And if I go forward in exploration, in wonderment of what the possibilities can be, and they will present themselves.
That's it. And they will present themselves. You don't have to chase.
No. In fact, slow down and take a walk. Stop running.
Yeah, exactly.
Excuse me, my
Exactly.
background is my daughter's baby shower and it keeps coming up and I
Oh,
don't
I
know how
see
to get rid of it.
that. Well, congratulations
Yeah, any
as
day
well,
now,
Sarah.
where literally she's got about 5 days to go for due date, so it's the countdown is on. So
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, okay. How's
and
the
then look,
weather in Canada too, by the way? How is the weather out there where you guys are?
how are we doing in Canada?
Like the
Um,
weather, how's the
the weather
climate?
right now today, it's sunny. There's blossoms coming out. Spring is
Awesome. Same
really
here.
trying to waken up,
Okay.
and it wakens us all up. And I think that's another thing for us to look at. There are
Yeah,
seasons in nature, but there are also seasons in our own evolvement. The
right.
winter is time to kind of really reflect, go deep, try and
That's right.
understand, and this spring is for planting those seeds, watering and
Right.
nurturing them. We've got to understand the seasons of our own life. Not everything
That's it. Ooh,
is
that's it.
fourth gear. There are
Yeah.
times when we need to slow down,
It
contemplate,
is. Yeah.
review before we
Yeah.
renew. If it
Yeah.
hasn't worked out, there's a reason for it. Maybe you need to pivot to the left or the right. Maybe you need
Mm,
to have a different approach. Explore, right?
that's right.
Explore. Because if you're looking for that linear road straight to success,
Yeah.
you're going to crash. I'm sorry. It's not going to
That's a
work out.
fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's facts. That's absolutely true. And you really have to know when to pull back. You said something really powerful. You have to know how to move forward because forward motion is the best motion.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, at all costs. But there are times, just like on any journey, where you have to use the bathroom, get off the highway. You know what I mean?
Yes.
You have to go take care of nature. And sometimes you have to just stop, like you say, not so much stop the momentum, but sometimes to gain a greater
Pause.
momentum. And I'm
Pause.
talking for myself
Yeah.
because I've been doing interviews and photo shoots like I've never have before since Black Friday of last year.
Mm-hmm.
From NBC, Fox, Chicago Journal last month. Oh man, it's hard to keep up. And I found, and I'm going to be transparent. I was being pulled on, and I still am, but it was like I had to. People are not going to make you slow down.
No.
And stop. You have
No.
to do that. It comes back to yourself again.
Yes.
You have to take initiative prayerfully and see. And if you see something that you don't like, you change your approach. You said that earlier. You change, you stop, pivot,
Yeah.
life forward motion in the journey is not just about just going, like you say, just pushing the pedal to the metal. It's about being able to sometimes see ahead before you even get there. Does that make sense?
Well, you look at
See it in your
music.
subconscious mind
Yeah.
first. Analyze everything.
And allow the wisdom to come to you. But
Allow.
when you're
Yeah.
writing music, it's not one note just going
Right.
up in a straight line. What makes
Right.
the music have depth, have meaning, tell its story are all the very many notes dancing together,
Yeah. That's
creating.
right. That's
We are
right.
meant to be those notes, dancing and
That's right.
creating and celebrating and exploring.
That's
What
right.
music are you? Stop just trying to be a one-hit wonder or three chord, go deep.
Right. A one-hit wonder. You said, oh man, you struck a chord there, Sarah. Look, I think that's any musician's songwriter or artist that back to that word. And I had to conquer that, and make sure I wasn't, falling under that category and following that wave. And that is, being a one-hit wonder and just being here today and gone tomorrow.
Yeah.
And like me
Who
and
were
Arthur Flash,
you?
we talked the other day. We like to believe that we make timeless music. You know what I mean by timeless music? Music that will outlive our own lifespan.
Yes. And that others will pick up along the line, be inspired by it and copy it because they were so inspired. But that is a sign of respect. There was, and we look at the Beatles. I'm a 70s chick, so the music for me is, the 70s, right?
Okay.
I mean, look at the music from the 70s and who it has
Paul
inspired
McCartney.
and now.
The Paul McCartney,
The Beatles, the Doors, Blood, Wind, and Fire, and
Earth,
God,
Wind and Fire,
Earth, Wind and Fire,
yeah,
and Blood, Sweat and Tears, and numerous others. And what I loved about the music at that time was, the words were the poetry of the time. but the music
Absolutely.
was almost experimental, and it was taking us away from a linear type music and taking us into an in-depth of
Right.
speaking to the pain, speaking to
Yeah.
the change that was needed,
Yeah.
speaking to the invitation of actionism, taking action. And it
Yeah.
was it was
Sure.
something
No
that
doubt.
was a
No doubt.
wake-up call. And this is the
Yes.
beauty of music, isn't it? It's an
It's so beautiful.
invitation, an
It's so
invitation.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It is. It really is. And it's an invitation. Uh, I like to think of music as being one, an invitation or entry, if you
Mm,
will, into my world.
yeah.
You know, because I'm a firm believer that's what's in your heart comes out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? When you hear what someone's talking about, most of the time, there's a good passage in the Bible I like that from the abundance of the heart, your mouth speaks out. Like we
Mhm.
speak what's on our heart, whether that's good, bad, pretty ugly, negative,
It's
positive,
honest. It's
Yeah, it's
authentic.
honest
It's
and
truth.
honest.
Your
And
truth.
you know what? We've been taught in society to be afraid of being
Uh,
honest
yes. I
and
actually
authentic.
last night I watched the Meg and Harry interview with Oprah. And I've done a couple of shows on them before, and each time it
Oh
has,
wow. That's
the
all.
here he walked away from the royal family, and the royal family, many of them just closed the doors on him because he no
Wow.
longer wanted to be a puppet of an industry. He believed in what the royal
Yes.
family stood for the people, but the institution running
Yeah.
the royal family took away
Yeah.
any humanity away from them, or any individuality, or anything that they wanted for themselves. And I applaud the fact that they had the courage to
Yeah.
say, no, I am going to walk a different path.
Yes.
That in their words and their action. Of course, you've got the naysayers and the bitches that come out with, you know,
No
oh,
doubt. No
why
doubt.
do
No
they
doubt.
do that? Because misery sells, and people love to be miserable because they won't take
Yeah.
accountability for their
People
own
people
happiness.
people rather be miserable than be happy, and that's
Yeah,
scary.
exactly. And I
That's
haven't
really
got time
scary.
for them. I haven't got time for them. They were playing music to my ears because of the strength and the courage and the tenacity to stand up and say, I want a better and a different life. And I've
Yeah.
walked away from everything. And I don't know how many people I've interviewed that have been big CEOs, Fortune 500, this, that, etc., who walked
Yeah.
away from it because they realized they had
Wow.
become a slave to it.
Yep.
They had no
Yep.
pleasure
A
from it.
slave to
They
it.
became a
That's
slave.
the word. Yeah.
Yes. And now
And
they're
that is
doing
what I
something
don't
totally
want.
different. Yeah. And now they feel really enriched. Now they
Yeah.
really feel
Yeah.
abundant and purposeful. Now they really
Right.
actually understand the joy of life.
That's right.
Right. And that's the
That's right.
importance, is what really is important in your life. Stop, take a pause, reflect.
Yep. That is it.
Mm.
That is so essential. It's so crucial. Uh, you have to know your stance, especially when catastrophes happen.
Yeah.
This is the thing about catastrophes and certain storms that come. If you don't know your posture and your place, your purpose, you can get blown away with the wind so easily, and don't
Yeah.
have your identity before the storm. A storm could really formulate a identity of his own, if you're not careful and don't know who you are. And it's important. I always valued that behind my music. I wanted to, and it's a journey. You do it all your life. You go to college, you get scholarships, and you're still trying to find that voice. But you have to get out of that slave mentality, because there's a
Yeah.
machine, there's a
Yes.
system that says you have to be like the latest, what that latest wave, or that you have to sound like Michael Jackson. You have to sound like, and people are afraid to have their own voices these days. And that's what
Yeah.
we wanted to do different with Permission
Yeah.
and the music we did. Don't be afraid to be different. Don't be afraid to be authentic. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable.
Well, I mean, let's take the case of you're a black person, I'm a white woman. I love all music.
Right.
Why is
And
it
I
that
love both as well. I love both as well.
exactly?
Leonard
And
Skinner,
there is this
all that.
thing that if you're black, you've got to be the rapper, or you've got to be this, or you've got to be
Exactly.
that. If you're white, you've got to be the crooner, or you've got to be this
Yeah,
and
that's a
that.
good
And it's
point.
like, will you
No
get off
doubt.
that boat, please?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You know, it,
Yeah.
Give me
Yeah.
music that comes from the heart and the soul. I
That's
don't
it.
care what color it comes from. I
Right.
really don't.
Exactly.
Right? Make me
Exactly.
feel, make me speak to me in a way that
Exactly.
lifts me up, nurtures me, comforts me, inspires me. And
Yep.
who cares? Because yes, I know Black Lives Matter. All lives
Yep.
matter. I would actually change it to
Yeah.
Black Rights Matter.
There
Right?
we go. I
Because
would too.
it's your right. All lives matter. Let's not start
Oh.
dividing this, right? But your
Yeah.
rights have been taken away from you for so long.
Right.
And it's time that the color of your skin did not get in the way. And so many
Right.
songs speak to that, and it needs to be spoken about. Today is
Yeah.
independent, is the Independent Women's Day. How many years,
And happy Independence
generation? Thank
Women's Day
you.
to you too as well, sir.
And
I
the
salute
point
all
is,
the women
why do
worldwide.
we have to
Yeah.
have these days? We have these days because we forget that we are all the same underneath the skin.
We all bleed
We
the
all
same
bleed.
blood,
We all are
you
looking
know?
for the same things. We all
Yep.
want to count. We all want to be
Facts.
purposeful. We all want to be heard. You know,
Right.
we all want
Right.
these same things,
We
and
do.
our culture just
Yeah.
has us doing it in a different way. If we
Yeah.
could come together, you don't only have Black people that listen to your music. I enjoy your music,
Thank
right?
you.
So the whole
Yeah.
point is
I love the universal appeal. I was telling
exactly.
I was telling my personal assistant earlier today. I was like, man, I am so glad that uh, we're not just put in a box and that,
Yes,
it's, all types of nationalities and races are gravitating to our music. I'm grateful for that.
and
Because music is universal.
it
Music is
is
it's no boundary. It has
none,
no ethnicity to it. It has
none.
no race to it. It has no, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
And
And
the
it's
soul is colorless.
the
Our
soul
souls are
is colored. The heart is beautiful red, which we all have.
that's right. That's
This
right.
is the skin is a vehicle that we're in,
That's right.
right? And the culture that we're
That's
brought
right.
up in, right? Uh,
That's
but
right.
what we do with that then
Yeah.
comes to our choice. Now, you
That's
talked
right.
about, the hurricane. I'm saying the present moment, but through COVID, through the political unrest, there is a
Mm-hmm.
tornado, a hurricane right now that people are
Yeah.
getting caught up into the hysteria of it.
Absolutely.
And they're so caught
Absolutely.
up in this whirlwind that they have absolutely no thoughts on their own. And
Absolutely. Wow.
if they
Wow.
get thrown out, suddenly they're lying there on the ground and they go, what the hell happened? You know,
Exactly.
who
And
am
that
I
shouldn't
now?
be. That
Yes.
shouldn't be either.
No.
Yeah.
And the thing is
Shouldn't.
don't get caught up in that hysteria unless what is the core of that hysteria? Hate.
Exactly.
Now,
And
where
hate
is it getting
blinds.
you? Where is it
And
getting
hate
you?
is darkness. It
Yes.
blinds you. It taints your judgment. And
Closes your
all of
heart
us have
off.
felt some type of hate in our lives on this journey called life. It doesn't have to be anything racial. It could
No,
just be hate towards another. You see it all the time.
all the time.
Sororities
And
hate each
every
other.
aspect of
Teams hurt
life.
each other. Gangs hate each
Mhm.
other. It goes on and on. And really, we've been indoctrinated to do
Mm.
so. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
I do.
We've been taught. We've been taught that.
And
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 so
and
it's
it's
like we got
time
to
for a
get
new
rid of the
lesson.
old neural
Exactly.
pathways.
Exactly.
You know,
It's time for a new lesson. Black,
yeah, it
white,
is.
pink, polka dot yellow, woman, transgender, man, dog, cat, horse, who cares what you are? Let
That's
us
right.
open up our hearts. If we
The
all
heart.
open up our hearts, our spirit, our God, our soul speaks to us.
That's
It
it.
lifts up our spirits, and it
That's right.
allows the mind to know what it needs to know when it needs to know it. We are never alone.
Mm.
The universal love is with
Yeah.
us. And if we have
Yeah.
a closed heart, it can't speak to us. We go to
Can't.
hate out of fear and
That's right.
disillusionment. If we
Out of
open
fear,
up a
we go
heart,
to hate. I love that.
yes,
Out of fear, most people hate because a lot of times they fear
yes,
you for whatever reason. In fear, I will say this until my grave, is simply false evidence appearing real.
yes,
You know,
yes.
and, and,
It is
and
the
you know,
unknown.
it's the unknown.
Right.
Um, and it's about unity. There's power in unity. And there's just let's just be honest about it. This industry we're talking about. You got to get around the agendas and different things.
Yes.
And they teach people almost to be afraid to be themselves.
Yeah.
It's like you need to sound more like, I wasn't told this. I seen this in the background of, producing with other artists from St. Louis, a guy that got signed around the time Nelly did at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I just seen how execs and different, you're like, man, won't you focus on allowing the artist, allowing him to be himself, because it's being himself that got him to this point.
Yes.
You
Oh
know
my
what I mean?
God, 100%.
It's like, right.
I watch these musical talent shows. And why do they get to be where they're got to? Because they're speaking from the heart. They may not be perfect, but we feel them.
Right.
You can have somebody that's technically perfect. It
Yep.
sounds wonderful, but where's that feeling?
And
Where's
it don't move. And
it
it
doesn't
may
move
sound
us.
like perfection, but no
Yeah,
one's moved, no
no,
one's empowered.
no.
They just, all they can say is, oh, you sounded great. And I
Yes.
never wanted that to be the end result of my music,
Yeah.
in arts and entertainment or writing books. I'm a published author with 3 books. I never wanted it to be that type of party where all you can say is, oh boy, you really killed that performance, or you really killed that show, or that song, or that song, you sound technical, skill
Yeah.
wise, man, woo, it's awesome. But it's like, we got to go a step further. What did it
Yeah.
do for you, though?
Yes.
What did this song do for you?
Yes.
Did it empower you? Did it make you want to? And that's what I love about what we're doing. I'm finding that more artists now, all around the country now, are hitting me up now because we dare to be different and, unapologetically. People almost like they are apologizing for being authentically genuine. Like, don't apologize, you know what I mean? For being who you are.
There is no
and these people
competition.
you're trying to be like, they are far from perfect. They're
Right.
far from perfect.
Put away competition and put
Far
away comparison. Put it away.
I said that today. Comparison is the thief of joy. It's the enemy of peace.
Mhm.
It's like, I told someone today, I said, my only competition is me, man.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Becoming a better version of myself. That is my comp, to try to outdo the other version of myself. Right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, I say all the time, I'm not everybody's. Yeah, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I'm somebody's strong cup of black coffee. This is me. What you're going to get is Sarah. I am not going to be offended if I'm not your cup of tea and I'm not your style. Right? There are a million podcasters out there. You can go elsewhere. But if you want me to speak to your heart and soul, if you want me to share that beauty that you have within you, then I'm the person, right? But I'm not going to be offended if I'm not your music. It's okay.
That's the fear of most musicians and artists, is that they try to reach everybody. I told someone, I said, I didn't know where the music, you always think big, but it's like, if I could touch one person or just a few people, spark that change, who knows where they'll take that. They're afraid of being accepted by everybody. Like, everyone's never going to accept you.
Now, where does that come from? It comes from an insecurity.
It does.
And I can tell you that comes from, majority of the time, from the inner child that at some point has either been abused, neglected, or just not given validation.
Yeah.
And we look for that inner child to be approved of. Good job. You're worth it.
Yeah.
I see
perfect.
you.
Perfection.
Yeah.
Perfection. And there's no such thing. Only God is perfect. Creation, only the universe.
Imperfection,
you know
is
what
perfect.
I mean?
Yes. Imperfectly you. That is your perfection. Because it makes you unique.
Perfection. And it's like, I've always said this, Sarah. Check this out. I always said this, Sarah. I said, if I can't get to where I need to be as far as my dream, goals, and aspiration, being myself, then I don't want it, because I'm gonna have to come back and correct it later on, because there's no peace in not being yourself. That's why you see people like that seemingly have the world and they're worth all these millions of dollars, and then they're not happy.
I've become a plumber.
And it's and I'll be honest, and I know you will. That takes learning. It took years to
slow down,
because we went through that.
Enjoy the moment. Busy chasing, gotta do it now.
So I am not by any means. I am not saying that perfected. But one thing God has helped me to do is perfect being myself.
Yeah.
Make sure that when I pop that music in, when you pop that music in, or you read that book, or this interview right here, we're being ourselves.
Yes.
And that's where the empowerment and hope comes from. Because people are so afraid to embrace who they are.
Yeah.
You
I
gotta
know.
love you. If you say you love God, and God does love us, He's love, universe love, abundance, right? You gotta love you, or you're not gonna show the proper love to anyone.
No.
You have to
I
love
mean,
yourself first. We wait to be loved.
yeah.
No, you love now. Now.
Why are
That's
there
the key
so
word I've
many
been thinking about
love
lately.
songs?
You know?
There are so many love
Yeah.
songs because we're all looking. It's not about being in love with another person, partner. It it is about
Right.
love itself. You know,
That's right.
Lin Mirando, I can never say his name, and Jennifer Lopez did this wonderful show of
Yeah.
um, Where is the Love? They did this whole performance.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if it was for I think it was for Puerto Rico. I think
Yeah, I
maybe
think it
not.
might have been. I think
Yeah.
so.
And it was just lovely because, it is where is the love, the love, the love. It is
Yeah.
about love, folks. I don't care who you are, where you are, how high you are, how low you
Yeah.
are, how deep you are, how everything. It is about the love because the love is a frequency
It's about
that
the love.
resonates
Love is
higher.
everything.
Yes, it resonates on
Love
such
is
a
the
vibration of truth and honesty.
And could I add to that? Boy, you stirring me up. You really got me excited here. I think about a quote from MLK. He said, "Love is so powerful that it it's the only capable force in the universe that can cause an enemy to be a friend.
Yes.
Love is liberty. Love is flight.
Yes. Yes.
Love is empowerment. I've been in situations where I've been able to love myself to the next level.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Love on
Oh, yeah.
people. When I say love myself to the next level, I mean loving on people because it comes back. It's a law.
Yes.
You know what I mean? The law of giving. You get it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what's wrong with our country. That's what's wrong with most countries. That's what's wrong with most people is that we haven't been taught to, we've been taught almost showing love to people is a sign of weakness.
Yes.
And really it's a sign of superb strength or what I would call state-of-the-art strength and ability. Love is the key. It is the key to Black Lives Matter. I heard you bring that up.
Yep.
I went through racial profiling. I went through all of that. I got a song that's dealing with the answer to that. And Wake Up. I don't know if you heard it. It's on my EP. It's track number 2. Actually, the first track after the intro. And it's featuring Crystal Haywood, my sister. Play sister. And I'll tell you this, we're talking about coming together in that song. And one of the lines is it's time to put our differences aside and start loving one another. Because there is no other answer to the problem because it's an internal issue, Sarah.
I know it is.
You can't fix a internal issue by external means.
No.
You know?
But
I've learned this. I'm learning this. People will listen,
Yes. The thing is, a lot of people say,
but
I don't want
inside out.
Yeah, it is. And a lot of people kind of think, well, this just loving everybody carte blanche is very kumbaya. And what we're saying about love is if you treat people, people from a loving place, I may not like what you do. I might not like your choices or the way you treat other people. I may not like it, but I'm still going to send you love. Because that loving vibration may waken up your consciousness to stop hurting other people. When people hurt other people, it's because they are lack of love.
That's it. That is the answer.
Yeah.
To a lot of these problems that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
It's a love issue, man.
Yes, it is.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's really just a love issue. And I'm gonna say this, being Black, and I'm very pro-Black, but I'm for the people of all colors and skin. I'm about people because God is about people. Okay?
Yes.
But
He did not create anybody imperfect. If we're created in his light, then we should treat each other as alike.
Yeah. in harmony.
In
You know,
harmony.
because when we're walking in that love, we're in harmony with ourselves, we're in harmony with everyone, but we're in harmony with God, the creator, and the universe that surround us.
Yes.
We're in sync then.
Yes,
And
we
then
are.
we find miracles. That's when the miraculous happens,
Mhm.
you know, because I think it's miraculous. These charity projects we did it out of love. We didn't
Mhm.
do it we didn't know what it was going to do. You know, we just wanted it to help people, empower people, change lives, and create hope through arts and entertainment. And I think that's the narrative. It's like, I think a lot of people are just doing things like zombies now because it's politically correct. That worked for them. And that's, you know, people are afraid to have their own blueprint. And that's one thing we want to do at PME is just show people it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to love. It's okay to be hurt and still show love. You know, like,
I love the name of your company, Pure Mission Entertainment.
thank you.
The,
Thank you.
I mean, it
Thank you.
says it all. Entertainment can come in any package, but without a
Absolutely.
pure mission of intent, what kind of
Yeah.
entertainment are you
Well
putting
said.
out there? And the thing is, every
Well
single
said.
one of us has been gifted with some form of instrument. It is up to us to learn to
Absolutely.
play that instrument and then bring it to an orchestra that we are in
That's
sync
right.
with and create a symphony that is invitational to all that hear. But we
I
are
love that.
responsible for that instrument, and we have been
We are.
gifted it. We've been gifted it
We
from the
are
moment we were
responsible. Not the
born.
presidents,
Yes,
not the
no,
governors.
not the
We, the
church.
people, are responsible.
Nobody, not even your parents. They're there as custodians to
Not
guide
the
you,
parent. That's
nurture
right. I
you.
like.
Yes,
Yeah.
I have three
Yeah.
kids, and
Wow.
and a grandbaby about to be, and each
Awesome.
one of
Congrats
them are
again.
very strong, independent children. Right.
Yeah.
And I was going through a very hard time when they were growing up. I lost my identity altogether, but
Wow.
my love never wavered. They knew when I didn't
That's it.
like something, but I
Yeah.
always loved them and always believed in
Yeah.
them, and always believed them
Yeah.
to do more. And but
I know what you mean. I
it was
know
up
what you
to
mean.
them though to
Yeah.
discover their journey.
It's up to the individual
Yeah,
to
but they
discover
knew
their
they had
own journey.
love behind them. They knew they had love blowing their way.
Yep. You can love in any condition. That's
Yes.
so true.
Yeah.
I remember that, you know, way back in my past, you know, of just hustling drugs and living a street life at the time. I was lost.
Yes.
And,
You
and
just fell into the
yeah,
expectational low vibrational trap.
exactly. But you know what, to add on to what you were just saying is that you can love in any situation. I still show love in the streets though. I
Yep.
still wanted to make sure everybody was eating, you
Yeah.
know? It wasn't just about me. So
Right.
I'm like, whoa, wait a minute. I got to take it to the next level, a higher
Yes.
frequency and do it.
Yes.
So what if I took this same mentality and quit doing what I was doing and now share this new higher version of myself and show them, you know, and share this love in a more universal way, you know? And, but
100%.
you can love and people love you for that. Even when you graduate from that, they will want to pull you back, knowing that you don't live that way because you showed so much love, even in the moments where you were lost.
Yes.
Because I
Yes.
learned a long time ago, and I'm still learning that it just feels much better to love than to hate, even
And
with your physical.
oh
Like
yeah.
fear is not good, hate is not good, not just because of emotional reasons, but even medical reasons. I mean, it is scientifically proven that fear kills your immune system, that hate brings about diseases and internal issues. You
Dis-ease.
know, it can cause
Yeah.
sugar and
Yes.
different, just high blood
Yes.
pressure,
Yes.
you know, and it goes
Yes.
on.
Yes.
So love brings healing as well. I mean, I learned that you can love your way into healing. You can heal from things just through the expression of love. You know?
Scientifically proven. Emoto, I interviewed his assistant because Emoto died. He did the 3-water experiment.
Oh wow.
And each room had a different water in it. One was ignored, one was given positive affirmations, and one was given negative.
Oh,
The
I think
negative
I
went
caught that.
dense and
Yeah.
dark.
Yeah.
The one that was ignored did nothing, and the other one that was shown the love literally
Yeah.
crystallized into energy that could be received. So
Yeah.
we are
Yeah.
70% water. So
That's
if
right.
you are giving yourself negativity all the time, that means
Right.
negative water going through your system affecting
Yeah,
your blood, affecting your energy, causing dis-ease, and your
that's right.
system is going to break down. Feed
That's right.
yourself the love. And now you have
Mm,
a system that is constantly in rhythm and in flow
it flows. And
all the
people
time.
can, and even more importantly, you can empower people to feel that love without
Yeah.
even being around them. Just through music, you could just pray, you know. With intent, you use the word intent.
Mm.
We intentionally, before any song is released, just the prayer over it, that
Yes,
love,
that
that
loving
that
energy.
people would
Yeah.
experience something, and
Yeah.
they come in by the droves. It's awesome. I
Why do
think
we
that
why
is
do we
the
pray over our food? Two reasons. One, gratitude.
yeah,
The other, that energy of gratitude feeds
yeah.
the food positive vibrations that you are now going to
Mm,
intake.
ain't that something?
Mm, it's simple.
Speaking of food, I've been more plant-based these days myself,
Yes,
because
me
food is
too.
it's
Me too.
energy. It's
Yes.
energy. Food
Yes.
is energy. We weren't taught that, but you know, you learn that. You can't keep just saying, "Oh, I wasn't taught that," and use that as an excuse to stay in a
No,
stuck
you can
place, or
unteach. You
you know,
can,
you can
right?
unteach,
When you know
unlearn the
something's
wrong
wrong,
information,
go do
just
something
like
that's
that.
right.
I mean, with the snap of a finger, you
Yeah,
could do it. You know,
exactly.
you really, yeah.
I
And
mean,
once I realized that, I went from the trap to now
yeah.
speaking, you know, traveling, you know, went to the Philippines, Taiwan, and you know, they treat you like Justin Bieber over there,
Oh,
you
I
know,
know,
and
I know, I
Galchang.
know.
Yeah, yeah. They love music, you know, and it's just beautiful, the gift of music and what it could convey and the energy you could shift. You can actually shift people's energy, man. You know, they can have
Entirely.
negative energy one minute, and then that love, like we're talking about, that good energy just it becomes
Yeah.
contagious. And that's always my prayer, you know,
Yeah.
what we're
I
doing.
have a physical ailment that literally drains the energy from me, and from that can come depression. What has always been my healing is putting on the headphones, looking at
Yeah,
pretty pictures and listening to music. And I
that's
realized
me.
it wasn't
Oh,
just the
that's me.
music, it was literally the frequency of the music
Exactly.
realigning the body, the realigning the
Exactly.
psyche, and just that
Yeah.
nurturing of that
Yes.
music enveloping into your body. You come out with like a deep breath of equilibrium.
Yes. Yes. That prana, that
Yes.
beautiful
Mm.
air, God given
Cleansing,
oxygen.
centering. Yeah.
Yes.
So
I
music
mean,
is on so many levels. It's
oh, it is.
entertaining, it can get you up and dance, it can make you feel and attach, and it can be healing and nurturing. We've always been attracted to sound.
That's
Even
right.
even when we're talking to people in the tone of voice. That
That's
tone
right.
of voice will dictate how people are going to listen to you.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
music is something that will
That's dope.
always be around because it's a
It
language that
will.
we need.
It's the universal language,
Mm.
and you can put any component in music too. You know, I've been affected by good music and bad in my past. I recall, you know, I won't call names and stuff, but there low frequency
Yeah.
music that it only contributed to the environment I was in at one point. And I'm like, wait a minute, if I keep just listening to
Mm.
this is what I'll get. Like
Uh-huh.
energy attracts like,
Yes.
you know,
Yes. Yeah.
oh yeah, like energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, and that's whether it's energy of hope, energy of love, energy of hate, energy of peace. You're going to attract what you put out. Period.
Right.
It's just the way it is, you know. And my prayer is that, you know, my race, which I love very.
Little pause. He's coming back. Yep, back again.
We did it though. We took the
We had a
URE
long
off the
time there
compressor.
before the interruption.
We I'm telling you, we did it.
Yes.
Like we were talking about examples of fear. We could have quit. Most people just said, let's try this again another day. Or
Yeah.
let's try to have you back on tomorrow or next week or something like that. And you know, and on both ends, you know, my end and your end, they were like, oh, we're having too many we just pressed right through it.
Right.
That is what life is about.
That
That
is
is
what
how
life
we
is about.
succeed.
The content
You
was more
take that
important.
URE off
Yeah.
and just keep pressing
Yeah.
forward.
So
You
I'm
know?
going to talk about the music. So
Awesome.
in the morning, of course, is for everybody going through COVID right now, that you're not
And
alone. We're
beyond.
all,
Yes,
and that, I've been told we've got another 4 years, not of COVID, but of transition. COVID happened
absolutely.
for many reasons, and one of the reasons is that humanity was spiraling out of control. It had to stop it. It had to pause us. It had to make us rethink, and it was an invitation to change our practices, to be there for
Yeah,
one another. And we're going to go
that's
through
right.
another 4 years of that transition into a more loving humanity, more caring
Absolutely.
humanity. And so,
Yeah,
as you said, it's beyond. It's not just for now, it's beyond. And we
yeah.
need, more of that support and love of each other. Now tell me about Isabel, your new song coming out. What's that about?
Okay. Isabel is definitely about this lady's Laura. I met Laura through Aaron Emick, my president partner, business partner, and she had lost her daughter to a suicide,
Mm.
and it was due to cyberbullying.
Yeah.
And
Oh, it's so
yeah,
nasty.
man, it was something. It made the front news of the papers, local papers. As far as we did an event called "Where Pain Comes Strength,"
Mm.
organization out of Florida and Illinois combined, Orlando. And she told me this story, man. It was just, it was heart wrenching.
Mm.
We were already, working on stuff for, Puerto Rico, Hurricane Maria. And the girl was from Puerto Rico as well,
Mm.
that Isabel. And it touched me, it moved me to tears when I heard the origin behind it, all the particulars, because I got to hear it like when, her, she was being interviewed by a prominent newspaper here, and I got to hear more of the story, like never before. I'm like, whoa, and I'm like, wow, these kids are really lost, and they're basing their whole life on false realities and illusions, which is social media most of the time.
This is the thing that's become the slave driver.
Yeah,
It's made
yep,
everybody a slave to what they think they should, the illusion of what they need to live up to, the phone.
that's right.
Yeah.
So the mom, to make a long story short, the mom, we got together, we started meeting, and it ended up all over the papers. The event, even with it being mud and rain, people came out, were crying. We got visuals of that. We're going to show once we drop the record. Again, I mean, it's dropped as an EP. It's already out now, but the single itself, we're going to shoot the video pretty soon. Probably a combination of Illinois and Florida. Best-selling author is supposed to be her name is, I think is Michaela. Her name is Michaela. She has a great book out about cyberbullying, and she helps a lot of kids out. She's going to be the actor to act out Isabel in that particular video that we're getting ready to shoot pretty soon. So I just felt compelled to. You can't just keep looking at a problem and say, "Oh, that is so terrible. Oh, that is so bad." So I just felt like, wait, we create hope through arts and entertainment. We don't want to limit it to. I don't want to limit on what we're going to try to
Right.
cost and bring some change to, or bring hope in the situation.
Yeah.
So it was brought to me. Then I'm like, well, we're going to write it. She gave me a few pictures of her daughter. I took it to the lab, got on the guitars, and she, guitars all around us and stuff, and we got to working, and then I finished recording in LA, and it was a process recording it too. It was a tedious process. Before I could even get off the plane, things were starting to happen back home. I'm like, whoa, that's how you know you're doing something great too. The
Yes.
opposing force try to stop that good, and so
Yeah, I
our
am.
hope is that, especially me having a 15-year-old daughter, I think she was 18 or 19 at the time, Isabel. So that's a love song, but it's speaking in the volume of her voice, and then as it pertains to me being affected by what she did and things that she said. So it's a pretty deep song. It's really trying to bring the love and say, hey, this is a problem. You got too many kids killing each other on Facebook. I don't want to call out names, but social media, period. 9, 10 years old. Like,
I know.
what is so bad about life that you're supposed to be enjoying life at that
Yes.
age? You know what I mean? You're supposed,
Yeah.
I mean, at any age, but especially as a kid, you should be more concerned about, hey, where we're going to play basketball, where we're going to, laser tag or something.
Yeah.
But not because somebody aired you out on social media and now the whole classroom knows, and now you can't face your reality, and now you got to kill yourself.
Yeah. I
So
have
that's what that song is about.
and that
And I
song,
wanted to wait to release this song until we had more light. You know what I mean? Like more
yes.
things happen, like Yahoo.
Hmm.
They put us in, 3 times last month. You know what I mean? In the Yahoo Mail, Yahoo style. So now we can bring more light to that situation. Because
Right,
I didn't want to release that too soon because
right.
it's such a sensitive topic.
And
And
you know,
believe it or
one that
not,
one,
through COVID, there's people killing themselves now
yeah,
because of the COVID-19.
I know, and I have one of my channels is the nature of addictions. I also have another one of raising
Wow.
our gifted children, but I have a series called The Forgotten Children. And I'm actually going into
Yes.
podcast books where people will be writing a chapter, collaborating on that. And it is about the forgotten child within the adult and the forgotten children.
Yeah.
Because if we
Yeah.
don't invest in our children, these children end
Yeah.
up as dysfunctional adults. And I was given a
That's right.
statistic that 70% of foster children end up in jail. And if we
Mm.
can't see this as a broken system, if we can't
Yeah.
see that we
No
need to
doubt.
step in and nurture these children, guide these children, help these
Right.
children, then we are
That's
just
right.
turning out a more dysfunction or having, God forbid, these
Right.
deaths, right? So yes, it's a
Right.
driving force for me as well that
Yeah.
we have to stop this, and the only way we could stop it is paying attention to it, doing
That's
something
it.
about it. I have a word
Paying
every year that is
attention.
is my word, and my word this year is actionism. No more talking about
Action
it.
is.
It's getting into action.
Yeah. Quit
Actionism.
talking about it. We've been at
Yes.
the.
Yeah.
Yes, right. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. We've been at the round table already enough
Yes.
and talking about the
Right.
problems.
Now what are you going to
How
do about
long
it?
will we do that?
Step up. Step up.
Well, what is the solution? What is
Yes.
the solution? What about our now? What do we
Yeah.
do now? And you know what I've learned about that word now? Forward, it spells new opportunity window.
Yes.
And then backwards, it spells one.
Yeah.
Most people avoid now, but that's where your victory is. When you take action now, your tomorrow looks better. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you take that word backwards, you've won. When you do those things now, when you take action now, and you pay attention now, and you try to do something about it now, you live your dream now. You got a lot of people waiting to live their dream when they could be living it now.
All you
And
have
we
is
can make a
now.
difference
What you do now are the
now.
seeds that you grow tomorrow.
The power of now,
Yes.
Sarah.
Yes.
And that's
100%.
what we did with the music.
Yes.
That's what we did with the music. We saw opportunity. If I could have easily brushed it, not that I didn't care. I could have said, I'll get to that song years later. But no, that
It's going
inner
on
voice,
now.
God's voice,
Yeah.
say, no, this is happening now. So you can't put that
Yeah.
off until
No.
later. You got to
No.
deal with it now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
A better
Yes.
tomorrow unless we deal with today's now situation. Now, deal with today now, or we have to. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying?
But
And we have to say
this
those
is part
things,
of the transition.
now.
Yeah. Yeah. This is part of the transition
Yeah.
that humanity is going
This
through
is the
right
year
now.
of transition.
Oh, it is. Absolutely.
This is
And
the year of transitions, right?
we saw last year
And
what was wrong.
manifestations.
This is the year of actionism of starting to put things right and then being persistent.
I love that word, actionism. I'm taking that word from.
Okay,
I'm going
you
to
can.
borrow
No,
that word.
I gift it to you. It's a word I came up with a couple of years ago, and this is the year of
Actionism.
actionism. Don't talk about it. Do it. Right?
Actionism.
And we can all take
Yep.
some form of
Now.
action.
Do it now.
You don't have to
Yeah.
write a song. You don't have to do a podcast book or interviews on it.
Right.
Just pay attention and speak out. If you
Yeah.
see there's bullying going on, if you see something, please
That's
do not
powerful.
turn the other cheek. This could be you.
Don't
This
turn the
could
other
be your
cheek.
child. It is time for us
Yeah. And that's
not with
another thing.
pitchforks,
I
stand
looked at
up
my
together.
daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw my daughter as Isabel. I'm like,
Yeah.
whoa, that could be me.
Yes.
That could be my daughter.
Yes.
So it's like I'm definitely I'm mandated to say something. You know what I mean?
I've interviewed too many mothers who've lost children, and they've lost them through either, through crime or through suicide or through being lost. One of my foster moms that I'm going to have in the book, she only fosters boys. And she said she had this 16-year-old, and in his entire life, he'd never been hugged. He'd never just been held and hugged. We know how powerful that hug is. That holding heart to heart. And the child has never experienced that.
That is so essential. That's so true.
Yeah.
It's and we have to deal with the moments, you know.
Yes.
Another thing I learned about momentum, that moments create greater momentum. If you take advantage of your moment, like momentum, you take the UM off
Yeah.
of the word momentum, you got moment.
Yes. Yes.
And most people
Now,
miss
moment.
moments now.
It's
Like, you
time and
want better
space.
momentum later? Deal with the
The
moment now.
momentum comes from the action you take now.
Exactly.
Yes. Right.
Amen.
When you're getting
Amen.
into a car, it's first gear, second gear, fourth gear, right?
Yeah,
Then now is first gear. Momentum is getting into third, and fourth, and that fourth is the actionism.
exactly. And you don't stop there.
No.
You keep, you keep, you keep
Yeah.
that momentum. And that's what happens to a lot of people. And that's what I didn't want to happen with the music. I want to make sure that the momentum, since we're talking about it, that's such a tedious moment. We dealt with it then, took advantage of now, but then now we got greater momentum, and now we can introduce it in a way that we couldn't just a year or two ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I
Because
do.
we got greater momentum.
Yes. And then I think the other big word is awareness. I mean, so many people
Awareness.
are ignorant because they haven't opened up to the awareness. Let's make them aware. Once
That's
you
it.
are aware, you can't turn the other way anymore. You can't say you don't know.
You can't
Once
say you
you
don't know.
know, you have to do something about it. You have to
That's
step
right.
up. You have to
You
change.
got to do
Look,
something.
just like with Black Lives Matter and with women, the way we use our words, the ways we use
Right.
our actions is under scrutiny right now, because for so long those words and actions
Right.
just, we've turned the other cheek. It doesn't mean anything, but it's demeaning, it's demoralizing, it's degrading. So if we're
It
even more
is.
mindful of our words and our actions and the way we treat other people, the way we treat ourselves, this will
Yeah,
already ricochet out in a more positive attitude.
absolutely. And the world would be a much brighter place. It'd be a
Yeah.
lot better, but it takes us speaking up and speaking
Yeah.
on it. It
Yeah.
starts with a conversation. Then you go from the conversation, you mastermind and come up with a game plan,
Yeah.
you know? And then you come with the game plan, then you deal with the timing factor,
Yes.
and you always you're always moving forward. I'm big on momentum, and moments create momentum,
Yes.
moments create momentum.
And sometimes the moment might be just one toe in front of the other, or then one foot in front of the other. And then there's a
Yeah.
time to leap. And
And
you will
there's a
know
time to
when that,
leave.
don't try and leap before you walk.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And that's so funny you said that. I was talking to someone the other day, and I told him, I'm like, I'm so glad with the things that's happening for us now, what's happening in my life, career, and in mission, I'm in the company, and the people around me. I'm so glad that didn't happen to me years back, because I don't think I would have been able to handle it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So timing
Wasn't
is
patient
everything.
enough, right? That big
Timing
P
is
word,
key.
patience.
Timing is key.
What youth knows patience and persistence? No, we just want it now and whatever
Microwave.
cost.
Hey, I was guilty of that before
Yep,
myself, man.
yep, yep. Yeah.
I gotta get it now.
Yeah.
No, you want it the right way. You want it to mean the most. You want
At
it
the
to
right
have the
time with the
greatest
right
impact.
people. Yes,
The right people,
exactly.
and then it matters the most.
Yeah.
It has the greatest impact.
Yeah, it does. It does. Your books, what are they about and how do people get hold of them?
My books, you can go to Amazon, anywhere to get those. You can Google it. First book was The Crying Songbird. I wrote that book. I'm gonna condense this a little bit. I wrote that book prior to having. Oh man, the experience was crazy. I was slipped a Mickey before. I was at a gig. I ignored my gut feeling. Went to play anyway. Somebody put something in my drink. Ended up getting cut up. Put in the hospital. My mom saw poetry that was hidden from everyone. She's like, I know this musical side of you, but what are you doing with this poetry that you write? I found your notebook.
Right.
And I was like, oh, you did, Mom? That's just that's just me expressing myself aerodynamically about what's going on in my world around me, in my environment. She said, you should do more. Yeah. So long story short, we won and everything, we won the situations and got my life back, on the right track. Just as quick as you get off track, you get right back on track. That's the good news.
Yes.
And so she inspired me to share my writings, and I started winning awards, poetry awards. And I was like, Mama, you was right. Here you go. She's like, oh, I had a dream you did even more. You know, your music touched her. And then the Warner
Mamas
Brothers
are
came.
generally right, you know.
Yeah.
Not that my kids would
So I
know,
got
but
signed 2 months after she passed the breast cancer. Can you believe that? Ingram Books, right?
Yep.
Distribution and Publish America / Ingram. Okay. And then I wrote that. It came out the Mother's Day a year after my grandmother passed. That same year after, a year apart from my mom, my dad's mom. My dad, who's a pastor, Pastor Willie Jones Jr., now in East St. Louis, he's pastoring the church. We lost our moms a year apart. And my book, I signed, it came out. And poetry is just another art form of what I'm expressing through my music.
Exactly.
You'll find that some poem titles and some poetry coincides with my music.
Yeah.
For instance, second book, Flying Above All. I did a record, Flying Above. I charted pretty well, touched a lot of people. It was about my life, the conversations me and my mom had a vision of me in prison. You know, like, how could that be? You're not, and it happened. Lo and behold, it came to pass. I tried to do everything I could to alter that dream, but I'm so glad it happened because it was such a learning experience, and I got to share that through book form. And then I did my first book signings at Walden Books and Boys and Nobles, and then prison people. So you go through what you go through for someone else is what I'm trying to say in short.
Yes.
Little did I know
it is
gave
the
me a
lessons
voice
you pass
to speak
on
to people.
Yeah.
And they I got letters written to the store in Fairview Heights, Illinois, right after the book signings, and it was like, you want to read these prison notes? Like, these are people. These aren't all like, these are people who had just the bad on their luck and wrong place, or some who will never see they are posting these poems in their cells on the wall.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is the effect I want to have.
Right.
When people, that's why I shared it. And I'm like, I'm so grateful my mom, had she not saw that gift and noticed it and said, you should do more of that.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be the author. Because I never, prior to that, I had never envisioned writing a book. You know what I mean?
Thank you for listening to your mom.
Oh, thank God. I'm so grateful. So then I put another book out, Flying Above All. Then Sunshine with the Rain. It was my third poetry book I put out in 2014. Currently working on a few more. Got a good deal going on right now with a company who I won't mention right now until we
sign the deal.
Finish the deal out of Canada. Out of Canada. Yeah, it's a big company out of Canada, actually. Yeah, and I'll share that with you in the near future. And I'm gonna work on some children's books. But I started with the poetry because poetry is synonymous to the way I write my lyrics musically.
Yeah.
My music really is
rhythm,
poetic.
Right? It's
you know
just
what
a
I mean?
different rhythm.
Just a different rhythm. It has its own rhythm, you know. And I've always been inspired by people like Maya Angelou. And do you know those two books got me in the book, Who's Who in American Literature?
Bravo.
With the peers, like people that I still love to read about, Maya Angelou, Robert Frost, Jack London. And you can see that online. You can go see that online. I think Amazon carries that as well.
Did they just
so
put in
you know the
name,
books they
Willie
go hand
J?
in hand. Yeah.
Just Willie J and Amazon, and your books will come up.
Yeah, Willie J. You'll see, and I recommend the first one and then go backwards. Go to Sunshine with the Rain, Volume 1, which is the EP that just dropped today everywhere, and it's already at 500,000. I think streams.
Fantastic.
So I'm grateful for that. And yeah, it's out. And you'll hear that in Sunshine. And this entitled after my third book of poetry and storylines. I have storylines that set up the poetry. You know, certain events that took place. And then I go into a poetic mode to express that occurrence. So that's pretty much the gist of that. And my next books will be, they can, you know, that's a good place to start. I'm like, man, you know, a lot of people that I'm called to reach, some of them, a lot of them are readers, but I want to make it easy where a little kid, if they wanted to grab a hold to, you know, real happening stories, about life and how to cope with it. And, you know, the beauty was my daughter read all three of my books. By the time she was 11, she had already read all three of them, you know, more than once. And she could tell me about, you know, and she learned from it.
Right.
my good and my bad, my mistakes, my errors, and my wins. And I told her, don't ever be afraid to fail.
Nope.
Yeah, I said, your dad, before he started winning, failing is winning if you learn, if you take the time to learn from the mistakes, you
Yep.
know? And that's what my books are about. Hope. It's back to that.
Yep.
Creating, it's permission. Creating hope through arts and entertainment. That's our thing.
Yep.
And look out for these new books because this is going to be another side of my Arthur. I'll say my Arthurhood. This will be another side of my Arthurhood. I have some self-help books that I'm working out, working
Excellent.
on now. Literally just principles that people could, things that I know and from experience that works in my own life. I want to share that in a different way because a lot have changed since I put those books out as well.
Yeah.
Some things have came to pass, like prophetically almost, like we're living in. And I'm like, whoa, I didn't realize I had wrote about that back then,
Yes.
And they were like, hey, you saw that thing? I was like, well, gosh, it'll help you see the future,
Yep.
And
Exactly. Because
you know,
you're in the right vibration,
right
channel,
vibration.
the right channel to see
So
what is ahead of
that's
you.
pretty much it. In the Morning is in one of those books as well. You'll find that in my books. So go to Barnes and Nobles, Amazon. Come right on my website if you want. You can you can definitely get copies of that, and look out for the new books coming this year.
And what
I
about
plan
the
to drop a
music?
couple.
How do they find your music?
Oh, you can find my music anywhere where there's streaming. You can find it on iTunes, Apple, Spotify. You know what I'm saying? It's SoundCloud, YouTube, anywhere. Anywhere where there's music. You can find it. It's out.
Right. And your site name is?
PureMissionENT.com. PureMissionENT.com.
And of
That's
course,
it.
you're on Facebook, on Permission ENT, and you're on Instagram, Willie J MD.
Yeah, Willie JMD username. Definitely. Those are my bigger platforms. Instagram, I'm glad you said that. Instagram, make sure you follow me on Instagram as Willie JMD, and you'll still see me, as the CEO, Permission. You'll still see the Permission stuff, all that. And you can see how far we've come. I left everything up there from years back so we can, people can see the timelines of growth and maturity.
And of
A lot
course,
of people like to hide that, but
oh
we're
no,
not trying
God,
to
I
hide
don't.
it.
I've got 2,700
Yeah.
shows here. My first ones were, like
See?
a learning curve, and it's like I've come
Yeah,
a long way
yeah.
from there, but that doesn't mean the
Yeah.
content isn't
Yeah.
good. It's just that the
Absolutely.
performance
Absolutely.
changed through the time,
That's right.
right?
That's right.
So we
Absolutely.
perfect it
No
as we
doubt.
go, right?
Yeah.
And of course, you're on YouTube as well, and you're on Twitter.
Oh, yeah. It's doing very well on YouTube, the EP, Sunshine with the Rain Volume 1. And it coincides with the book that's out. You can definitely get that together if you want. You can really get a gist of my life, my world, my journey, how we, before the company, before we birthed Permission as an international company. And man, just humble beginnings. I would, love to share that so you can see the growth. And yeah, we're just excited about growing, Sarah.
Yeah, but
It's
that's,
just about growing.
I'm because in my actually not now because there is no age bracket anymore. I mean, the youngest person I've interviewed was 10 with her own book, and the oldest I've interviewed is 89, and she still has her own TV show. And the whole thing is
That's beautiful.
It isn't about ageism, it's about passion. If you've still got something to share, there is no age to it. It just means you may do it in a different way.
You said with me and Arthur Flash, my artist Arthur Flash, we said the same thing. We make timeless, ageless music.
Exactly.
And it's for all walks of life. There's no age limit with it,
No.
And
No.
Yeah. Look at the lady who wrote the Black Panther movie. I think she was in her 70s or something like that.
Yeah.
The comic book or whatnot. So
yes.
It's never too late. It's never too late.
The thing is, as you grow older, the artistry in you grows deeper.
And, it does.
And finds a more articulate way to express itself. So just like a good wine or good brandy, good scotch, it matures.
Fine wine, right?
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I'm a good bottle of scotch here, maturing well.
I'm just grateful to God, man. I can't express that enough. My spirituality behind the scenes definitely play a part. I'm big on
Yes.
prayer, meditation, and just visualization and
Yeah.
clearing your mind to be able, so that God can birth that song. Sometimes we're too cluttered. We gotta,
Yes, yes.
clear
Yeah.
ourselves,
Yeah.
empty ourselves out.
I do
And that's
my own
how I want to
shows.
die. I want to die empty, Sarah.
Yeah.
That
Spent it
I want to
all.
die empty.
Spend it
That I've
all.
used the majority of all of my potential up
Yeah.
to the
Yeah.
fullest before
Yeah.
I leave here,
I hear you.
and passed it on. And even better, I passed it on because life is like relay. That's what I'm doing with these songs and these
Yes.
books. It's relay. You run as fast as you can for the team, and then you pass that thing off so someone can be in an even better position than you are.
Right. I mean,
That's
it's people ask me why I do these shows, and I said, I celebrate those making a difference in the lives of others. And the
oh
reason
yeah, you do. I could tell.
right, they make a difference because they were willing to go through their process and become
Yeah, yeah.
become the person they were
Become
meant to be. And we
become
celebrate that
all of who
person they
you're
are
meant to
now.
be, all of who God created you to be
Yeah.
in the universe, around the
Yes.
universe. Like we have so much power we don't realize.
Yes. Nope, we don't. And
So
and
much
when we
power.
allow and don't dictate, and but
Right.
just allow, then
Yeah.
all of our possibilities and options open up to us. So many
That's right.
people dictate, and then you limit yourself. If you
That's right.
allow, you begin to see the bigger canvas, and
That's
and
it.
that paintbrush of yours just finds its way.
Yes, it
Yeah.
does. And it's just such a yeah. It's like a wave. It's like riding it, surfing. And it's a beautiful thing. A lot of those things take care of itself, but you just can't be afraid to step out and use your voice. Everyone has a voice,
Yes.
and everyone's voice, as it pertains to positivity, is important.
Yep. It does. Yeah.
And I think that's why a lot of people don't speak out and use their music to do that. But what I'm finding out, we're sparking a different interest. There's certain people who had low frequency music. They're hearing the pure mystery and say, "Hey, I want to try some of that."
Right. Well,
That's what we want.
it's like I interview a
You
lot
know,
of actors, and there are the actors that are chasing the fame, and there's very
right?
few actors are going to be 20, 30 million a movie. You can count them on your hand
Yeah,
almost. But the working actor that is constantly there, from one gig to the other because they're versatile, and
that's
because
that.
they're willing to be flexible, they're willing to take their ego out of it.
Yes,
Right. And they are
yes,
the people that will continue to
yes.
work and be revered for their work and their contribution, because they are
Yeah,
willing to be many levels instead of this is my ego and who I am. The moment your ego steps, you can have
exactly. I don't
self-pride.
do
You can have
egos.
self-pride, but the moment your ego
Yeah,
steps into it, you're in that false illusion.
man. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with self confidence
No,
and having
no.
confidence and boldness, but you have to be humble.
Yeah.
I told someone you have to find a way to be bold. I was telling Arthur Flash, my artist, Arthur Flash Johnson, and it's like, yeah, it's a combination of being
Yes.
bold but humble yet at the same time,
Yeah.
and that is the way up. That is the way up. You know what I'm
The
saying?
only way.
And yeah, it's the only way, and not to chase. And I heard you say something very that was never my MO with books. Or I was really coping with the death of my mother when I wrote
Hmm.
the first two books. And I'm always coping with that because we were so close. Mama's boy, super mama's boy. And, it's just so much, it's so much to learn. You know what I mean? Like every day, it's like never a dull moment. Every day is an opportunity to grow, man. It's just a new opportunity, and to be able to share by way of arts and entertainment is living the dream. I tell people now, they say, "Oh, you living the dream now." We seen you in Yahoo, we seen you New York Weekly and all that stuff this year, and Yahoo 3 times. I said I was already living the dream. The dream
Yes.
is just getting better.
It's just got recognized.
You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah, it just got
Yeah,
recognized.
I,
Yeah,
I was already living the dream. I wasn't chasing fame. Some people say, if I'm not famous, I'm not living the dream.
right.
No, you live the dream. You live it first. You live that dream.
Yeah.
Live it now.
It's the same thing if you're not rich, you're not worth anything. Will I father be poor and totally enriched in my heart, soul, and spirit than have a lot of money and be empty?
Yeah. And I never wanted, that was, you know, that was something I never wanted to happen to me. And I'm so grateful that hasn't happened, but it's work. You know, it hasn't been always easy.
No?
I know you know this.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but anything worth achieving and having in this life, you know, that's where you see the value, you know, through your struggle, you know.
Yes.
And every song you hear, every poem is based off real life
Yeah.
experiences. And
And that
I'm just grateful to be able
we
to
learn
share that
best.
medicine,
Yeah,
you know,
we learn
with
best
people.
from the people who've gone through the journeys before. They're the best teachers because they've gone through it. They
Yeah,
know what you're going through. They relate to you, you relate to them because they
yeah,
did it. It wasn't some textbook thing. It was a
no doubt.
reality. And that reality is a reflection of what you're going through. And you read on to find out how did they get through it. So I know how to get through it. And that's the importance. Volume.
Hey, we got through this thing. We did
We
the thing,
did.
though. We did it.
We
We
did.
did it. Yeah,
We
we
did.
did it. And
So
I'm so excited. And we
I'm
had to
glad. Yeah,
press
I'm
through it
glad.
though.
It was good
It
to.
was the way we responded though.
We
You
gave
know?
it energy.
Our response was proper.
Yeah,
Yeah, our
exactly.
energy. The energy overruled technology. It controls. See, that's the power, right?
Yes,
That
yes.
people miss out on that. Like we've been given these powers to just, I mean, alter all false realities, you know,
Hmm.
and
If you want
problems.
it, you're
Like,
going to make it happen,
yeah, it's all about how
right?
you
And
respond
it,
to
and if
something.
you're
If you don't
looking
like
for that, it's got
something,
to happen this way and that way. Forget it. Allow. Go with the flow.
allow. I love that. I love that is the art of, to me, peace of mind. Having
Yes.
peace of mind is being able to allow, you know, the
Let
flow
go.
of life,
Let go of the
you know, the
control.
roller coaster.
Yeah. Just allow.
Yeah,
Go with the flow. It's so much more
yeah.
peaceful and more productive.
It's so much more peaceful. I mean, I don't have as many gray hairs as I did. Now I'm just
I've got
people.
names in every one of my hairs.
I don't know how many, but I can tell in a few years, you know, maybe 10 years from now. But I just believe this, though, Sarah, that, you know, it's about hope. That's always been the MO behind my music and writing and producing, and even for others, is that they'll get some hope from it, you know, because I know fame is a trap. I've seen what fame can do to many good people, you know,
Mm,
I've seen it. You know, it can mess good people up if they don't have their heads on straight.
I know.
And it's good to have your why together before you start taking off. You know,
Yeah, have
your
your
why,
roots.
you know,
Have your
purpose.
roots. You be grounded.
Yeah, have
Understand
your
what
roots
tree
and
you're
know where you
growing.
go. At
Yeah,
least know where your head is to
yeah,
some degree. You
yeah,
know.
yeah. And you know,
Yeah.
for me,
But
I
I like
can't.
it all because the pain makes up everything.
Yes,
Makes up, you know,
yes,
who we are,
right. I can't do anything against
good
my
and the
core.
bad. So I wouldn't take it back.
No, no, no. And the
Yeah,
thing is, for me, my core value, my core love, my core being,
yeah,
my core faith, my core everything else. If
yeah,
it is not in sync, I
yeah.
can't do it. I just simply can't do it.
That's right.
If the core is with me, that means
That's
I
right.
can move forward.
I can move forward. And you
Yeah,
know that
yeah,
because God gives us this unction. Like, you know, he gives us all the answers are internal, then they come out. And that's what's wrong with
yes,
the world. You know, they're trying to fix, you know, you know, inner issues by external means once again. And
yeah,
that could be frustrating. I mean,
yeah,
we've been there. I'm sure you have.
yeah,
I
yeah,
look back and I'm like, whoa, whoa. It's just always a lesson to learn. You fell forward, you grow from it. I call
yes.
it growing pains. I like to call it growing pains, you
Hmm.
know. Um, yeah, man, you know, true growth does come through pressure, high pressure,
Yes.
mistakes,
Yeah.
error.
It's like a
And
pressure cooker, isn't it? It cooks under pressure, but look what
yeah,
you
it
get.
is. Yeah,
Yummy.
yeah, no doubt. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And
Everything can
it's
have a
exciting.
rainbow. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Right, right on. Absolutely. And back to the music, you know, Music Universal, I have a lot of different tastes. This project is my greatest project. And I'll say that it expresses who I truly am as an artist, musician, producer, and the heart behind the singer, the rapper, the musician of three
yes.
instruments. Um, you know, it's probably my most important and significant one because of the causes we're standing for.
Yes.
You know,
It
we
has
like
it
Puerto
has a purpose
Rico.
beyond
Yeah,
just
it's
the
bigger than me. You
entertainment.
know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It's
Yeah.
bigger than me. It's like, whoa, these messages are, you know, I always had the bigger than me mentality, but this project is
Yeah.
way bigger than me because
Mhm.
it's like, whoa, I got to cover issues, you know, that's really happening and some that are still happening, you know, right now. And just to be able to capture that, uh, you know, capture that through music and through this the interviews and being able to share, it's just beautiful to me, you know.
Well, I can
And
promise you this, you're not going to run out of material because there's always going to be issues that we need to address.
I just so but you're all in our conversations. I told someone that jokingly. I said, man, all of the things that's going on in our world and just my life alone, I will have material until the world is all over. I'll never run out of material.
Right.
It's just a matter of, you know, like cooking it like a souffle. Like, how do you want to present it, and what should I talk about
Right.
now? You know, what
I
should I
don't
be saying
consider you a
now?
souffle. I think you're just a really good stew that's been cooking for a long
Ah,
time and
thank
full
you.
of the flavors and very hearty and comforting.
Thank
So
you. Love stew. That-
I do too.
good stew.
It just
Yeah, yeah,
hits you in the right
yeah.
places, right? Yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. So we just want to pass it on. We just hope, you know, our prayers that someone will be. I'm sure people will be empowered with, you know, the content
Yeah.
that we've shared here
Yeah.
through this interview. You know.
Yeah, most certainly. And so the
Yeah.
site is Pure Mission ENT, short for entertainment.com. And they can
Yep.
find everything up there, your books, your music, your everything,
All the interviews, all the
everything.
latest interviews from Fox to you'll see all of it. ABC we did, you know, you'll
And
see a 30-minute,
self-discovery
almost
media.
30. Yeah. Yeah.
So that's the thing is you want to know more about him, listen to the interviews because in each interview
Yeah.
he will share this and share that and then you'll get a
Yeah, I
whole
got to go
picture,
over
right?
things that I didn't get to share in those interviews,
Right.
you know, with you. So I love this. I love this type of you know, communing and
Mhm.
conversing. I love it. The dialogue is great.
Yeah, I call
And
them organic conversations.
yeah, they are
Yeah.
organic conversations. I like that too. Organic dialogue. All right. And you know, because they just need truth and they need hope. That's really what people are in search of right now,
Yes,
more than
most
anything.
certainly. And that music, it's important because it really does speak sometimes even beyond the words. Not everybody can find the words to express how they feel. And then a
Yeah,
song come along that speaks to that and it
yeah,
opens you up and it's speaking for you. And that's
yeah.
what, that then is something that can allow you to articulate better, right?
Absolutely,
So that's what it's
absolutely.
about. So
It is about that, you
yeah,
know. And God rest my friend. He was my rock and roll artist. We listen to Journey all the time. His name was Terry. You'll see it on the track list of the EP album we just released on those platforms. His name was Terry Sanford, amazing singer. Um, he called me his musical mentor. That was an honor, and I'm so grateful that we got him on here on his birthday. We got him on that track. We sat on in the morning for um, we sat on it for a little while. I wanted to make sure it was released, and my team in LA wanted to. And I called him. I said, "Hey, they love the record, man." And he sung on the chorus of "In
yeah.
the Morning." He's a huge Journey fan, and that's the part that you can't change. That's a part of life. You know,
Mm,
we did music every week. I have to make adjustments. Life is about adjustments too. You know, just being able to adjust and deal with that. You know, and I get a little emotional talking about him. That was my best friend, you know, one of my
yeah.
best friends. And but I'm so grateful that and his kids get to listen to his voice and they're so grateful for that, you know, and say, oh, I get to hear my dad. And
Yes.
then now they went from get to hear my dad. Now, oh, my dad's on the record is helping to change the world. Oh,
Yeah.
whoa, 5
Yeah.
million, 5 million streams, you know, so
Yes.
it's like, wow,
Yes. Yeah.
you know, and that I think that separates everything. I mean, just the why is very sentimental. Uh, I'm just so grateful. I'm grateful. Just gratitude. I
Well,
think
we're
the more
grateful.
grateful you are too,
Oh
you
God.
get more. Gratitude
Yes.
leads to more
It's an
blessings.
invitation. It's an opening
Yeah,
up.
it's an
Yeah.
invitation for you. It's
Yeah.
like, okay, come on, universe, give me all you got. Give me the
Yeah.
abundance. Come on, God,
Yeah.
give me
You
all the
know what I
abundance
can
that's
take. You know what I can take, and I'm here ready to receive.
Exactly.
open, right?
Exactly. You know what I could say?
Yeah,
We speak the same lingo in a different way. I'm telling you, because I've always said I don't want anything in this industry. I don't
yeah,
want anything as far as blessings, success, or whatever that is that we're experiencing now to destroy me
right. Yeah,
or take me away from the true essence of or the purity of making music, beautiful music that brings hope. You
yeah.
know, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that that hasn't happened. And you know why? Because awareness. you
Hmm.
the more you're aware and consciously aware of something, you can kind of avoid certain things. But if you're not aware of something that, oh, if I take a few more steps here and there's a big drop off the Empire State Building.
Hmm.
It's about being aware of what's going on, and being aware of why you do what you do and staying true to who you are, man. And knowing that all the
Knowing when you've
answers
got
are
the
here.
wings. Yeah,
They're
exactly.
all here.
Yeah, and sometimes you're given the wings to take flight, but
That's
that
right.
doesn't mean it's all the time. So the more you know you, the more you
Yeah.
know that the depth of you and how far
Yeah.
you can reach, the more you know what you can do. But again,
Yeah.
it's allowing, it's being in the now, it's
Yep.
being open to receive
That's
and
right.
and just
That's right.
exploring, having a wonderment about your nature,
Yeah.
see where it can go, because we don't know where things can go until we're
We
willing to
don't.
take the
Because I'm
drive.
blown. No, we
Yep,
don't. Because I'm blown away. I'm not trying to sound modest
yep,
or humble, but this year have been like it has been the most successful, mind blowing honors. I didn't expect to receive a lot of the honors from Yahoo like that. That's it was 3 times in 2 weeks.
mm,
In the first month, it was amazing. U.S. Insider. They'll see all that on the site. I'm
yep,
still trying to process it,
right,
Sarah,
yeah,
because I'm focusing on the wide and what's the next music. Like, let's
yes,
get
yeah,
this video done. Let's empower. Let's what's already out. And it's amazing, And some of those, what music can take you, places far beyond your wildest dreams. And I'm
yes,
learning. I'm a testament to that, a living testament to that.
yeah,
And I just want to help, while we're here. We want to do it while we're here. You want to leave your legacy while you're here, right? Because you
exactly.
can't come back
That's,
and do it again.
it's your instrument we want to hear. You're right. So
Yeah.
play it,
Yeah.
please. Yeah,
Yeah. So that's what we want with In the Morning, bring hope, because a lot of people are afraid. A lot of people lost businesses, their jobs.
yeah.
They lost ministries. They
Lives, lost
lost
family members.
lives. Yeah,
Yes.
even lives.
Mm,
Oh, and that's even more precious.
yeah.
You can get another job, but you
No,
can't get another life.
no, no,
You
no.
know,
It was
can always get
certainly a
another
wake up
job.
and a shake up. The universe gave me a saying a few years
Yeah.
ago. The universe is going to
Yeah.
shake us up to wake us up for us to step up and change it up and grow up. And that is grow up to a higher
Mm,
frequency. And we've been shaken,
that's
we've
good
been
stuff.
woken, we've been asked to step up. Now we have to change it up and we have to make sure that our energy grows up.
That's it. That's beautiful. Well said, Sarah. Well said.
Thank you for
Awesome
sharing.
energy.
Yeah,
We have like energy, man. That's why it's so powerful. It's explosive. It's just, I know people are being blessed by this and empowerment.
yeah.
And I'm just grateful you had me on, man, and to get
No,
to
it's
share
been a
this.
delight.
You know,
Despite the technical
yeah.
challenges, it's been an absolute delight. So,
I know, right? Yeah. And that's cool. And we went with the flow. I
yeah,
just love how we responded. It's all about you can't control. I'm learning, and I like to say learning because learning is an evolution
hmm,
that never ends. I like to say this. It's really about how you respond
yep,
to certain things.
yes, it
Our
is.
response is everything.
Absolutely. It's your
Our
choice.
response is everything. And
Yeah.
I'm learning that.
Mhm.
Yep, it's your choice. You're responsible for how you react. You're responsible. You can't blame, even with all the issues, you can't sit up here and blame, oh, because so and so did this to so and so. And,
No
now I'm going
blame,
to,
no
just go
shame.
crazy and wreak
Right.
havoc everywhere.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
You're responsible for you,
Yes.
your
Exactly.
actions.
Take responsibility for your actions and be willing to ask for help. There is
That is
no
key.
shame in asking for
That is
help. You're not
key.
meant to know it all. You're meant
Oh
to
my
learn. And there
God.
are people, teachers who have gone before you
Yeah.
that will help you navigate your path when you are confused or at a blockage. Put it in your backpack, take it with you, but please ask for help.
Woo. that is what most people are afraid of too.
Yes.
Because they've been taught that that's a sign of weakness.
No, it isn't. That's one of the
And
greatest strengths.
it's
Learning from
really a
each other.
sign of power.
Yes. Yes,
It
it
takes
is.
courage,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's where your
boldness to
empowerment
say,
lies.
hey,
Be willing to
I
say,
need
I
help.
don't know, I need help,
Yep,
right?
exactly.
And the more we
Exactly.
teach our children that, the less suicide we will see.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
Couldn't have said it
we're
any
gonna
better.
have to talk
More we
again.
teach that.
Yeah, and I've got a project in
We
mind I
have to.
want to do with you. So hang 10, we're going to talk about that. But to everyone else, I want you to listen to that
Yeah.
song in the morning. Please listen to it. Please feel it. Please share it. When you go to selfdiscoverymedia.com, for the love of music, you just put in Willie J. His show page is there. His songs are there. All his links are there. And share the song out, because we all need to hear it. We all need to feel it, and we all need to share it, because that's what it's all about. So thank you so much, Willie, for being here today. It's been absolutely wonderful. And we're going to leave everybody with In the Morning.
My pleasure.
Until next time, folks. Bye for
My
now.
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, in the morning's gonna be alright. I'm telling you. The end of the tunnel, that's light. Let's go. Through the storm, through the rain, through the hurt, through the pain. You can make it, I can make it. We gon' make it. In the morning, it's alright. In the morning, it's alright. Let's go. Through the storm, through the rain, through the hurt, through the pain, through the guilt, then through the shame. When it's kinda hard to explain, don't you worry, don't you fret, cause it's really not over yet. Keep on holding on to the end, cause only the strong survive and win. Yeah, and when they try to hold you back, don't let up. And when they try to knock you down, just get up. And when they try to keep you from winning, tell them all we do is win, win, win. Just keep on winning, yeah. Don't you dare throw in the towel. Even through the trouble, gotta smile. Gotta keep a smile for the extra mile, for the extra mile. Yeah. Rested like it's the tigers and bears, oh my. Yeah. Gotta keep your faith elevated up to the sky. Yeah. Keep it real, never tell a lie. Even though the family gotta die. Never knowing why, never knowing why. Oh, why you why? Yeah. But we can only endure for a night, but yours gonna come in the morning time. Yeah. Through the storm, through the rain, through the hurt, through the pain. You can make it, I can make it. We gon' make it. In the morning, it's alright. In the morning, it's alright. Yeah, yo, giving up is not an option. Keep it pushing, keep it poppin', keep on standing tall. Do it all, ain't no time for dropping. Got to keep that dream alive. Don't you ever, ever let it die. Gotta keep the heartbeat, gotta keep the vibe. 365 days we strive. Got to keep the faith and never doubt it. Keep on going hard, no doubt about it. Yeah. It's all about survival of the fittest. So get it, get it, get it, get it. Don't you ever quit it now. Even though it's looking dark today, that will surely be a brighter day. Got a brighter day, gotta make a way, gotta make a way. Yeah, keep on turning that pain again. Sunshine filled with the rain, gotta make it rain, gotta let it rain. Yeah, when they try to hold you back, don't let up. And when they try to knock you down, just get up. And when they try to keep you from winning, tell them all we do is win, win, win. Just keep on winning, yeah. Through the storm, through the rain, through the hurt, through the pain. You can make it, I can make it. We gon' make it. In the morning, it's alright. In the morning, it's gonna be alright.
We hope that you enjoyed the show. You will hear many shows here on selfdiscoverymedia.com. We have new shows for you out every week. Just find them on our podcast or What's New. If you feel that you have something to share that makes a difference in the lives of others, or you too feel that you could be a host, please contact me at info@selfdiscoverymedia.com and we will be glad to speak with you. Have a wonderful day.